Welcome to this edition of Buncombe Life. We are out here in a really cute little brand new neighborhood, and we're going to tell you about Habitat for Humanity. Think you know? I bet we'll tell you things you don't know. I've learned a lot. You're going to learn a lot. It's amazing. It's going to make you want to volunteer or go shopping. Stay tuned to find out why. As we talk to Lew Kraus, who's the Executive Director of Habitat, we're going to meet him right now. I'm here with Lew Kraus, who is the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity. And if you haven't met him, I bet you've heard that name, especially if you've had anything to do with Habitat for Humanity over the last, and you just told me 25 years?
25 years, yes.
Lew, I want you to tell me, in your 25 years, so much has changed.
It's been amazing. It really has. And the product has stayed the same, and the mission has really stayed the same. I mean, we're here building houses, but the real thing we're doing is changing lives.
That's right.
And it's a wonderful thing to see happen in our community here in Buncombe County. We started in 1983, and Asheville was had the first Habitat for Humanity in the state of North Carolina.
No way!
We were the very first.
Were we really?
Asheville's visionary from the day one.
That is so true.
It is true. And today there are 88 affiliates in this state. There are 1,700 affiliates like us across the nation now. But I'm proud of this community, proud of Buncombe County for being the first one that had the vision and the energy to get up and make that happen.
Yeah. Let me give the folks at home just an idea of where we are. We're out here in Swannanoa at a new development that you're going to talk about in just a minute. But as you can hear behind us, there's some building going on, and that's just one of the newest things happening. I want to go back though, during your 25 years, in the beginning. What was it like in the beginning when you first started? And kind of the differences from then and now.
Well, we've had a sharp learning curve, but it's a 25-year learning curve. Right. I have to say that. But the very first house we built in 1984, and that house took us 18 months to build.
Right.
And I'm also here to tell you today that the family that moved into that house back then lives in that house today.
Really?
Still lives there today. The house has been long paid off. The mortgage has been paid off.
Yeah.
But it was really great. And in those early days, there were about just a handful of us that went out on Saturdays and volunteered.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, you go out on Saturday and you go, now, what were we doing last week at this time? And then here's where we were. Well, let's go buy some building materials.
Oh, wow.
And so it just took a long, long time for that house to be built. The other thing I want to mention about that very first house is that back then, that was our very first house, but it was an active solar house. And so I'm just telling you, Habitat came out of the blocks, in the right way.
Yeah.
But anyway, over the years, we have done a lot of work in the community. We have built 247 houses in Buncombe County.
Wow.
And that's a real milestone, but it's a real testimony to the community.
Yeah.
They have gotten behind our program over the years with volunteer labor and finances to buy building materials.
Yeah.
We have gone from 18 months to build the first house to starting a house every 3.5 weeks.
Wow, you start a house every 3.5 weeks
now. So like I said earlier, the learning curve it's there.
Wow.
And that's come about because we have hired some staff, but we have got people who come out on a regular basis. We refer to them as our core volunteers. And core volunteers are, we have the same folks that come out every Monday that work on the job site, or every Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday.
And let me tell the folks watching at home, they're going to meet one of those core volunteers in just a few minutes. So that'll be great for them to see. And then they can become core volunteers too if they're interested.
Absolutely. We're in the market for more core volunteers, believe me.
Tell us about some of the different communities for folks that may not know, because Habitat houses don't stick out and you go, oh, there's one. They look great. They're great looking homes that fit right into the community. So where are some of the other homes, the 247 that you've built throughout Buncombe County? Where are they?
We did a lot of infill house building around the county, within the city limits.
And infill means in lots that were just vacant inside communities.
Exactly. In addition to doing infill building, we decided that we also wanted to build small communities where we had contiguous lots.
Right.
And why that is important to us, it's important for a couple of reasons. One of the big reasons is it stretches our building dollars.
Right.
You know, we have, you know, one job site, we have one tool cache, one truck, we have one supervisor that can do a couple of houses at a time. So it really stretched our building dollars and helped a lot like that.
An example of one of those is where we're at today.
Absolutely.
This is a wonderful location out here in Swannanoa. It's just kind of back away from everything, yet very close to everything that you need. And y'all have just started this development. So tell me a little bit about this one. That was kind of an exciting thing.
It's really exciting. And you know, I am so proud of, I want to say, these young people that are out here.
Yeah.
This is the independent schoolhouse, we're calling it, and it's Christ School and Asheville Christian Academy have come together, raising both finances and, as you can see and have heard so far this morning, a lot of labor to come out and make this house a reality and build this house. And so
what that means is they're raising the funds for it to make it happen.
Correct.
And then they're volunteering to get it done.
Exactly. And you know, those are the two real critical ingredients that make Habitat houses a reality. I've always said we can have all the money in the world and no volunteers, and there's no house.
That's right. And I know the family that this is going to be provided for, they have to come out here and work too.
All families, all Habitat families have to do what we call sweat equity.
Right.
And we're starting to get into that period of the year where it's truly sweat equity.
That's right.
You know, this is, recently I was talking to one of our homeowners that now lives at another community, Kearney Place in West Asheville.
Yeah.
And she was talking to a group of folks and saying, you know, when I did my sweat equity, it was July and August, and that's a real word, she said.
That's exactly right.
But we do, I mean, part of the partnership that we ask for families to join with us in, our families that we build with, we ask for 200 hours of sweat equity volunteer time from each adult that lives in the home. And that's 200 hours that can be done on their house, other homes that are being built in the area. They can volunteer, and we can talk a little later perhaps about our restore. They can do work there, or in the office. And it, you know, it sets the stage for building relationships in these communities.
So how do you find your Habitat families?
So we have flyers out in public locations, at libraries, for instance, and things of that nature. We do online marketing. We do marketing through the print ad.
So if I saw that and I thought, ooh, I can't, you know, I don't have a home. I would love to have one. I'm a renter, but, you know, I would like to have a home. Do I just call you up and say, how do I qualify?
You can call, and whether it's a volunteer that answers the phone or a staff member, the first step that we would do is send out a pre-application to people who are interested in a new home or in having their home repaired. That's another avenue that we're involved with now in the community. In fact, having said that, in this fiscal year, which ends in a few months, we will do 27 repair jobs in Buncombe County in addition to the new houses that we're building.
Oh, and I bet that's crucial. I bet a lot of people need repair work.
Oh, they
in their
do.
Homes in order to be able to stay in them sometime. So let's say that I apply and fill out the application and I qualify for a home. Then I know that like when this house is finished and you hand the keys over, it's not free.
Oh no.
It's not free.
No.
I think that's a misunderstanding among some people. They think, oh, they built them a house and handed it to them like that show on television.
No. But thank you for bringing that up, because that is one of the myths, I'll say, of the work that we do. And you know, one of the strengths of the work we do is the fact that we charge people a mortgage payment for their houses that we build with them. We're not building houses for them. We're building houses together. And you know, the thing that makes the home so affordable, first of all, of course, is the volunteer labor that goes into the house. But the second thing is that we're charging a zero interest mortgage over 30 years. And so the house that is behind us that is being built right now, when that house is completed and that family moves into that home, their monthly mortgage payments back to Habitat, which include property taxes and homeowners insurance, that's escrowed, those payments will be between $500 and $525 a month for a brand new home.
That's wonderful.
The nice thing about that is that when this family moves into their home and starts making mortgage payments, we recycle that money back into the next house. And so these families that move in with us are actually helping the community and helping each other for the next homes that are going to be built. So it's a great program.
It's a great program, and it so reminds me of It's a Wonderful Life and the savings and loan bank. You know, it's like, well, I don't have your money because your money is in that home. It's a wonderful thing. It really makes a community, I think.
It really does.
I think the folks at home, after hearing all of this, are going to be interested in getting involved. How do they volunteer? And there's not just one way. You don't have to swing a hammer to volunteer for Habitat. There's lots of different ways you can help.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, you know, we have a lot of standing committees. I mean, we rely on volunteers. They're our lifeblood. You know, they really are. And so, yes, we rely on volunteers to come by. We need volunteers in the store, in our restore on Meadow Road.
And I think a lot of people don't understand that store. It's beautiful. It says restore, but I was always under the impression I couldn't go in there. That was just for y'all.
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
not. It's not.
No, we need you in there.
Yes.
And we need you to donate, you know, furniture, housewares, things of this nature if it's no longer useful to you. Furniture, housewares, building supplies, cars, boats, things of this nature.
But then I can buy in there too.
You can, but we recycle that back to the community. And, you know, having said that for Buncombe County, we are keeping 1,400 tons out of the landfill every year.
Yay.
Yay is right.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I think it's the right thing to do.
It is.
It's just the right thing.
It is.
And then folks come in and buy there. And people who need, you know, something that is gently used, as we'll say. We have people who are who have rental properties that come in. I was talking to a lady yesterday and she said, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I could come in and get a stove for the kitchen for my rental property here.
See, I had
and a
no
refrigerator.
idea.
So it's very, very important. The store does much for us in terms of revenue.
And that's another place to volunteer.
There's room for 200 volunteers a week in that store. And so we're still building that cadre up. But it's important to know that the restore, the revenue that comes in from the restore, it literally puts the block foundation and the concrete foundation under every Habitat house we build. It pays for the administrative costs of of all of our organization. And so and it also builds a house a year entirely.
Wow.
So, and those are the net proceeds from the store. And why I want to get that message out is that as a donor, when you donate and write a check to us, we can look at you and say, your check went directly to the sticks and bricks that went into this house. It went into windows, doors, lumber, sheetrock, etc. It did not cover the overhead of the organization.
Wow.
So the store is important in a lot of ways. I mean, it really is. It provides an avenue for people to buy at an affordable rate, helps our landfill, and you know, things of that nature. There's one other thing I wanted to just mention about this particular community. This community is being heavily supported by Buncombe County. And I want to take a moment just to thank the county, the commissioners, the staff that we have worked with and continue to work with. Your dollars go a long, long ways for our organization. And it means much, much to the families that are moving into these homes. And so, you know, we need to say thank you. We can't say that enough. But the county is a very, very important partner with Asheville Area Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I know that our commissioners and the board is proud to support. And that's why we wanted you to know at home what Habitat does, because it's amazing what you can do with a dollar. Thank you for all you do. And you don't go anywhere. We're not done. Stay tuned. Okay, you just heard Lou and I talk about what Habitat can do with a dollar, what they can do with volunteers. It is amazing. But we didn't want you to take our word for it. We want you to hear from somebody who benefited directly from Habitat. Clara Johnson. We are going to go see her, and you're going to hear how Habitat not only changed her life, but changed the life of her whole family. I have been here since 2004. My husband was terminally ill when we moved in here, and he made it 3 years in this home and very happy. It's just been a wonderful place. I adopted two of my grandchildren. I've raised them through school. They're out on their own. Very thankful because due to finances, that's hard to do unless you've got some kind of help. I think one thing that people think about Habitat for Humanity is that it's a free thing. It's not free, but it's affordable. I was able to work out my down payment and moved in with affordable payments and continue to do so. We moved in September 2004, which was a wonderful day for us. A nurse that was coming out to take care of my husband was familiar with Habitat for Humanity and told me about them. I called Pat Bacon, which is a wonderful lady. She was able to point me in directions I needed to go as of cleaning up credit. You do have to have good credit. Anyway, she did that and I got everything taken care of. Was able to do my sweat equity hours, worked out the full down payment. You first have to have good credit, and I think that's the way it is with any homeowner. Second, you have to go to the homeowner classes. It's very helpful. It's been very helpful for me as a widow. You have to have income coming in of some kind, either disability, Social Security, whatever. You have to have income. You have to be able to work out the down payment in lieu of having the money for the down payment. They did accept the volunteer work and they continue to do that. Anything that is pertaining to a Habitat for Humanity home is counted on those hours, and that means someone else's home. I don't just mean my home. I mean, I worked on one house for one day. Trust me, when you're doing that kind of work, you know you're working for something that, I was all excited and just could not wait to get in my home. If I hadn't have got the Habitat for Humanity home, I would have still probably been in an apartment. I don't have anything or any problems against the apartments. I'm thankful for them, but due to being able to afford the monthly payments, afford the down payment with work, I was able to get into a home. And for that, I'm very thankful, and a thing about that is, even though you're on Section 8, those payments still keep going up. I'd have had a struggle with that because, fixed income, raising two grandchildren would be very hard, and due to owning this home, I was able to get them through school. They're on their own, and it's just been a very wonderful experience. We are here on a location of a Habitat for Humanity house. I'm here with Cecil Greck, who is, tell us what you do, not when you're here, what you do for a living.
I'm a registered nurse, so I've been a nurse for 21 years now. And with the nursing, I have a very flexible work schedule.
Yeah.
So I have lots of days off. It's not traditionally Monday through Friday, so I have lots of time off. And a couple years ago, I decided I would try to use my extra time for something good.
Yeah.
And I started volunteering with Habitat. And was volunteering on a regular basis, so now I'm what they call a core volunteer. Ooh. Which means I'm a regular volunteer. Usually 3 to 4 days a month I try to volunteer.
Oh,
so.
Cool. And so today, or on a normal day, I don't think there's anybody out here working today, but on a normal day you would come out and you volunteer. And that's what we want to talk about with Cecil, is how you can be a volunteer with Habitat and why it's a wonderful thing to do. Mm-hmm. So let's back up. You've been here a while. You volunteered for a while. How did you get involved with Habitat?
I'd always heard about volunteering with Habitat through some other co-workers who had volunteered intermittently, and so I was talking with my wife, and we wanted to volunteer, do something in the community, something local, and so we came out to Habitat, went through the orientation process, which is just a couple hours. They tell you about Habitat's mission, how they raise money, how the people get the houses, the sweat equity that goes into from each of the homeowners. Right. It's not a handout, it's a hand up. Mm-hmm. So the people are actively involved in their homes. So we started working, and then with my wife works traditionally Monday through Friday, so we volunteer together one Saturday a month, so we get to come out and work together on the homes. And then I work, when I say my other weeks, Monday through Friday, so just it varies the days of the week, but I try to, say volunteer a couple of days a month. So.
Okay, so you came out and got oriented, and then they put you on a job. What are some of the things that you do for Habitat?
Well, that's the beauty with Habitat is you never know what you're going to do from a day-to-day basis. You could come out and you could be at a house that's in the first stages of construction,
like
all
this
the way
one.
right here. Right? We're still in rough framing construction. You can be doing roof work, all the way to doing inside work, to hanging doors.
Well, had you ever done anything like that before?
I have some basic construction background, but not anything like we do here at Habitat.
So it's okay if somebody at home is saying, I'd like to do that, but I don't know a thing about construction.
Absolutely. If you don't know anything about construction, you don't even know which end of the hammer to hold, they will show you. And that's the beauty of it, because when you come out, the contractors here on the site and the lead carpenters are they're very willing to teach you everything. And that's what they're looking for, someone who's just enthused to be here, and whatever job they're doing that day, they're going to show you all the step-by-step processes how to do it.
That is wonderful. So if you don't know anything, or if you know a lot, you
Right.
can still help. So you came out here, you got involved, and they put you on different projects. How many houses have you completed, do you know?
It's
Or been a part of?
It's hard to say, because sometimes you could come a couple days in a row and you could be in a different house every time. There's always houses in different stages.
Right.
So I've helped with rough construction, rough carpentry work with the rough framing in, all the way up to laying the sod once the house is put down. So
y'all take it all the way from nothing to complete turnkey, the people walk in.
Exactly. The homeowner, when they're presented the keys, the house is ready for them to walk into. So.
Oh, that's so cool. Now, do you get to meet the homeowner?
Oh, yes. Lots of times when you're working on the job sites, the homeowners, like I said, they have to do 200 hours of sweat equity into their home. So you're working with the homeowners, or you may be working with a homeowner on a different house.
Right.
But they're out there working also with you.
So you get to meet them and be a part of putting their house together. Now, what would you say is the most rewarding part of getting to volunteer for Habitat?
I don't know if there's one thing you can say is the most rewarding part. I mean, volunteering is such a great thing because you feel like you're giving something back to the community. The other people you're working with, I mean, people are out there volunteering, giving their time, and they're just having a good time. You know, you're getting to learn new skills, and then with the full-time Habitat people are just so enthusiastic. They're just the greatest people to work with. They're so appreciative that you're out there, and they just having a good time also.
Because
so it's just fun.
You're really making it possible for somebody to have a home.
Right, and that's the big goal, is you're seeing that someone is going to have affordable housing, a quality built home, because believe me, this has happened many times, from the people that don't have a lot of construction experience, when one of the contractors tells you to do this and do that, and you do it and it's not just right, they'll say rip it out and do it again. So they don't skip anything.
I was going to ask you that, because if you told me to do something, I might do it, but if it's not right, somebody's going to come behind me and go, bless you, but no, that's not getting it.
Exactly, and so that's the thing. If something, you'll see sometimes some of the, like Robin, for example, one of the lead carpenters, she'll be standing there looking at something and kind of scratch her chin, and she doesn't like the way it looks. So you're like, okay, let's get a crowbar and we'll start taking it apart and let's get it right.
So these houses are built right?
Yes, they are. Quality built.
So on this particular project, have you done anything on this one here?
Yes, John, one of the lead carpenters, and I, we came out and laid the cornerstones for the house for the footers to be poured. Got it all squared up and everything, and that was about maybe a month ago we came out. So.
Oh, and it's already got this far. Oh, wow,
and
this thing's moving.
That is one of the great things with Habitat. When you come out and work, at the end of the day, you can look back and you have something tangible. You can see that you actually built, and you see it progress so fast. It just kind of goes up before your eyes. It's really amazing.
Yeah. And I just know this has got to be true, because usually when you volunteer for something, if it's a good, worthy cause, you can't outgive it.
Exactly.
And so you've given to this, and I bet how many of these skills that you've learned or little tips have you been able to use again?
Oh, many times, because my wife and I were finishing our home, finishing our downstairs level, and lots of these skills came in handy. But it's one of those things you think you give of your time, but you get so much more in return. I mean, it comes back to you tenfold. The more you give, the more you receive, and it's just a blessing.
Yeah, you get to help people, meet people, get involved. It's just wonderful. So I know if you're listening at home, you think, I I might want to get involved. So what would be their first step to get involved with Habitat?
The first step would probably be to go to the Habitat website. There's a full website that tells you how to get involved, where their projects are going on. And like I mentioned earlier, the orientation course we went through, that's not a mandatory class you have to go through. You can just sign a waiver at the job site if you want to come for that one day. The good thing about the orientation class is it tells you the history of Habitat and what their mission is. So it just gives you some background
and
information.
then kind of makes you an ambassador too. Then you understand the whole thing.
Yes.
And we will put all that information up, the website, a number you can call if you've got folks at home who've got more questions. They can do that. Anything you want to leave us with?
Just being able to volunteer and seeing that someone's going to have a quality built home, it's just a great feeling. So I would just encourage you to come out and come to the job site. It doesn't matter how much you can do or how little you can do, just come out and lend in a hand, and it'll be a great day for you, and you'll, like I say, you'll receive tenfold back what you give.
Absolutely. Stay tuned. We started out this episode out in Swannanoa in a brand new Habitat for Humanity neighborhood. We're ending this episode here in Kearney Place in West Asheville. It is just the cutest finished Habitat neighborhood, and it is what they called an infill. This is right in the middle of a very established West Asheville neighborhood, and it's just beautiful. See what Habitat can do? We hope you've been encouraged from this episode to spend any of your spare time volunteering. If you've got something to donate, or if you want to do some shopping, you will look up Habitat and do it with them. They're a great nonprofit and a great way to spend your time, your energy, and some of your money. And as always, you never know where we'll be next month, but we want you to join us here, Buncombe Life.